Welcome to Lapis Moon Tarot. I am going to cleanse my space and only invite the energies of love and above. This is going to be a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest. We are going to see what you need to know most right now. So this is a timeless reading. It is valid for any time you come upon this video. And as always, these messages are for your highest and greatest good. So we have 3 piles for you to choose from. Pile number 1 is represented by this raw rose quartz and this Queen of Cups card. Pile number 2 is represented by this raw citrine and the Death card. Pile number 3 is represented by this raw amethyst and the King of Wands. Take a moment, pause the video if needed, and choose your pile. When you've made your selection, your timestamp for your pile will be in the description below and in the first comment. I'll get started with pile number 1. Pile number 1, if you were drawn to the Queen of Cups and to the raw rose quartz, first and foremost, I want to say that you are in a place where you are inviting more love, more compassion, more nurture into your life. The Queen of Cups card itself says compassionate, warmth, caring, intuition, healer, supportive, inflow, and empathy. It's represented by the Cancer on this card, but it can be any water sign. Scorpio and Pisces also applies. Deeply intuitive, deeply feeling, highly emotionally intelligent. But I feel with the rose quartz here, it's very much centered around your heart. You might have had some healing around your heart, some expansion happening as well. And you're ready to pour your cup of love and nurture and care into another person. So this could be a romantic partnership, a friendship, a child, a sibling, a parent. It just feels like you are ready and in a space where you want to invite more love into your life and also reciprocate. So that reciprocate is really important because when it says inflow, to me that's a flow that is very harmonious. You're not draining your cup, and nor are you draining someone else. This is very awakened love. This is harmonious. This is nurturing. This could be a chapter or season of your life where you have done a lot of healing and you're ready, and not only ready, but I feel like it is imperative that you share this healing, this wisdom with others. And it starts with your own relationships. It starts in your own circle. This is really lovely. I love that her eyes are closed too. It's very internal. It's like this internal healing that's expanding you, and you're going to share it with others. So I'm interested to see, make sure that that's still in the frame, how this shows up for you in this reading. All right. 5 cards for pile number 1. Wow, that really came out. The Hanged Man. It's a time of reflection. It's a time of pause. There's like a truth you're surrendering to, or that you've come to understand because of the pause in your life, because you were kind of forced to stop and take a different perspective, a different view of your life, of your situation. And it caused you to make these leaps and bounds with your healing, with your understanding of human nature, an understanding of almost like psychology as well. Why do people do the things they do? Neptune coming through here, so Pisces might be relevant. We've got the Queen of Swords in reverse, talking about manipulation, harsh, cold, spiteful, cruel. 2 of Wands, Yeah, again, that pause, that falling apart, that forced view of the situation from another perspective because your plans just they fell through. It wasn't the right timing, it wasn't the right person. Feel like there was a lot of manipulation in the situation you're in. It could have been a relationship, it could have been with friendship circles. You might be a very empathetic, compassionate person to begin with, and it was just not reciprocated in your social circles. So it forced you to go into this kind of pause, into reflection, into introspection, to figure out what it was that attracted these situations to you. Why are you so giving? Why are you so generous with people who don't reciprocate? Six of Wands. Retreat, retreat after failure, fear of failure, giving up, lack of confidence, egoism, no reward, lack of achievement, and private. This feels to me like, yeah, you went inside yourself after a failed or a series of failed relationships. And it forced you to recognize a pattern that was happening in your life. It forced you to look at, and I'm not saying that, oh, why are you attracting people, like you're the one to blame. That's not what's happening here. Your boundaries are low, and so it's allowing people who don't deserve your compassion, your care, your love, your nurture to take advantage. I think that's what you recognize. And that is an unfair situation, and it's unfair that people feel they can do that, especially to loving, nurturing, open people. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Bad luck, clinging to control, stuck in old karmic cycles, resistance to change, unwelcoming change. Yeah, Jupiter here. So normally that's a blessing planet, but because it's in the reverse, it was a timing thing. And that's so, that interplay is so interesting because we could have a series of bad luck, right? Opportunities fall apart, relationships fall apart, things fall apart, and we're like, what's going on? And it's like, oh, it's bad luck. But that bad luck is also triggered by your mentality, your mindset, your actions, your perception. So, had you, let's say, had this knowledge about your boundaries, about healthy relationships, about partnerships instead of codependencies, those people who had come towards you with, let's say, not the best intentions, they were manipulative, they were deceitful, they were even cruel, you would have like boundaries up, no thank you, I don't need any of this, instead of trying to understand them, you know, give them nurture, give them the healing, being so understanding that it was at your own detriment because you have such a deep knowledge of human nature, emotions. You're so emotionally intelligent. Like you understood their motives, you understood why they did the things that they did. And so you stayed by their side, hoping that they would heal themselves, hoping that they would grow, that they would, move past whatever made them this way, but it's not your job. And so you can see how, if you had that knowledge ahead of time, you would have avoided this bad luck and you would have waited or recognized someone who was right for you, who was a partner that is on your level, who's reciprocal, who's loving, who's nurturing. And then it's a series of good opportunities, good luck, doors opening, healing happening, growth in a partnership. Very lovely. But sometimes that's not how life goes, right? Like what we've learned as a child, as a pattern that's normal in our household, what we've seen other people's relationships are like, those are the patterns we reenact in our lives until we take pause and we recognize it for what it is, and then we outgrow it, right? We heal it. And then we realize it wasn't really so much the bad luck. It was what we allowed in because of the way we were programmed, because of our perception, because of how we put others before ourselves and didn't have high boundaries, and how we had high tolerance for disrespect or abusive relationships, or um, you know, love that was like trickling in like a trickle of love and care when we deserved an ocean, because that's what you give. So I feel like this is a healing period for you. I feel like you've made a lot of realizations. I feel like you were kind of forced to because of the series of situations that came up. And you're ready for the change. It's just a little scary, you know. Healing is not easy. You might be in a dark night of the soul at the moment as well. But I want you to know that that self-love, that care, that nurture you're pouring into yourself right now, it is healing you, and it is going to be reciprocated, but you're going to see it through a different lens now. You're going to see it through the lens of, I want someone worthy of me and I am worthy of them. And your worthiness and your self-worth has increased. You are seeing the patterns for what they are. You know what you bring to the table. And there's no more breadcrumbing you. There's no more leading you on. There's no more manipulating you. Oh, I had a difficult childhood. Or, oh, my past relationships, they were all so bad. Everyone mistreated me. No, no, no. You're seeing that for what it is. Everyone is responsible. And it's also about accountability. Like, someone could have gone through difficult situations, but they take accountability. They go and get help. They change their behavior. They don't pour their, wounding onto you in a relationship when you had nothing to do with their past. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's childish behavior. That's immature behavior. You're done with that. Two cards have come up here. We've got community and intuition. Community in the upright and intuition in the reverse. The community makes sense to me here. That's where I was feeling that, like, you're ready to pour into others and have them pour into you, and this is very reciprocal. Needing that care, that love, that nurture, that healing with like-minded people who are worthy of your beautiful company. We'll just read the upright on that one, and then for Blue Lotus I'll read the full description there. Celebration, kinship with tribe, community, friendship, union, finding your chosen family. Finding your chosen family. Yes, you have this desire. Your heart is so big. You have so much to give. Choose your family. Choose who you want to pour into. And number 5, see, your discernment and your intuition are really important. That's why I want to read this one, because it's coming through in the reverse. So, suppressed intuition, disbelief, disconnection, moodiness, lack of inspiration, hidden intentions, blockages of psychic power, the sun and the moon coming through here. Yeah, I feel like you are dimming yourself down because your self-worth and your ego took such a hit in these patterns, in these relationships, that you no longer trust yourself. But trust your healing, because your healing will open your third eye. It will help your intuition, and trust your intuition as well. You probably had twinges of, this isn't right, this doesn't feel right, this isn't fair, but you never listened to it. Your intuition is so powerful, but you got to actually own it. You got to listen to it. You got to follow that guidance, right? And the more you do, the stronger it gets. The guidance. The Blue Lotus is a direct doorway, a mediator into the world of the gods. The perfected balance that it bestows us assists us in bringing and refining the divine connection between the heart and the brain. Blue Lotus today is assisting you in widening the portals of your intuitive powers, granting you access to the realms of inner knowledge held within the great mystery. Remember, the lotus rises from the depths of muddy waters, untouched and impeccable, to blossom into majestic beauty. Don't allow the muddy waters of the blossoming process to suppress your intuition and believe in yourself. Trust the process and believe in the mystery. Listen deeply to the guardians of the mystery as you unfold from the darkness. Oh, that's so beautiful, right? So they tried to taint you. These experiences tried to taint you. They brought you down. They are not you. Your experiences, the people that you had attracted in the past or were attracted to in the past, they are not you. They're the muddy water that you can wash off and you come rising up impeccable, right? And I'm not comparing people to mud or anything like that. I'm just talking about the way that they used you or the way that they treated you wasn't the nicest, wasn't the kindness, wasn't, the high value human nature that we all look to. Okay, so I am saying that you can absolutely trust your intuition, realizing that you are separate from the experiences and how people treated you. You are worthy of having beautiful community, beautiful nature, nurture, beautiful love in your life. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you on my next one. Group number 2, if you chose the raw citrine and the death card, this will be your reading. Transformation, new beginning, endings, and change. Begin again. That's interesting. I hadn't seen that one before. Okay, so with the citrine, definitely channeling the solar plexus, having the will, having the ability, the power from within to make this change happen, right? So solar plexus is how you project into the world. This could be a call to work with your solar plexus. Perhaps it feels a little like it needs support, right? So you can work with citrine, you could do meditations. There is a major transformation happening. This theme has been coming up a lot for me as well, the last few readings, that it could be very in tune with the collective, like we're all going through a transformation right now. But if you were specifically drawn to group number 2, I feel like for you, this is very like true. It's like in the moment. It's not like you're about to go through one or you're thinking about it or you're, starting the process. Like you're in it, like you're in the depths of transformation right now. Things around you might feel a little out of control or chaotic, or they're breaking down or crumbling down, or it could be a very gentle process too. Some people have awakenings that are just very gentle, like they wake up one morning and they go, oh, I'm going to look at life in this, through a deeper lens, through a deeper understanding, and that's lovely for those people. But the vast majority of us, I feel like we go through dark nights of the soul. There's like a deconstruction and a reconstruction of our lives, of our perception, of our thoughts, our emotions, who we become as people. We're very much transformed after dark nights of the soul. So death card also channeling Scorpio energy, if that resonates with you in your top 3. Don't be afraid of the death card. We always want things that are not for our benefit to end so that we can have change, we can have a new beginning, we can have the opportunity for growth, for better. Always think of it in those terms. It's that will that pushes you through, right? Don't fight the change. Don't be afraid of it. Your will, your determination, your own strength will get you through this transformation. Especially understanding that it's in divine timing, right? Nothing falls away unless it's not benefiting you. and it's going to be for your benefit in the future. And sometimes it's hard to make those changes on our own. And so, the divine comes in and says, nope, no more of this. It's time for, no more delaying this transformation. Like, it's time to go. And then you have these endings and this change and this transformative period. It's nothing to fear. It's for your benefit. It's for your growth. You have absolutely the willpower to get through this. Solar plexus energy, right? So projecting your power. 6 of Wands, beautiful. Victory, glory, triumph. This is a great card to get. I love the owl too because it represents the wisdom that you're gaining in this period and how you're going to shine, how you're going to get recognized for it. Perhaps this is a very public transformation that you're doing. Maybe you're on social media, maybe you write blogs, you write books, you write music, poetry, and you are expressing this period in a way that other people can relate to it and they recognize it and they are drawn to you. They are seeing you as like a model for how to go through this transformation. Some type of recognition. And it feels like in this day and age, it's usually online recognition. So that's why I feel like social media, or perhaps you are a speaker, you are a writer, you express it in a way that people can relate. 8 of Wands, good news, travel. Yeah, fast moving energy coming through here. That's so interesting. It's like you get this death card and everyone's like, oh my God, it's so scary. And like, look at this. Like fame and recognition, victory, and then fast moving, good news. Like somebody comes in with perhaps a job offer, a opportunity to partner with someone, a travel opportunity, come and speak to this, place, and where you get to go travel to come and share your knowledge with this group. Like, like it's so, like all of the opportunities open up for you. Right card, beautiful. Leo season right now. You could have Leo in your top 3 as well. This represents having the courage and the perseverance to see it through. And that's what I was getting for you with that solar plexus. Like you have the will, you have the courage, the bravery to see it through. It's also about self-control, like to know when to exert strength and courage and when to just persevere through, not try to force things. Understand that there's like this ebb and flow with life. Certain things you can control, certain things you can't, but to still have that stoicism, that strength through those difficult periods, and then you get that reward, that self-discipline through the hardships. Let's get you 2 more. Justice in the reverse. Balance, equality. Something is off balance for you. That's interesting. It could be what triggered this death, this transformation. Don't know why it feels like it's in your relationship. Justice represents Libra. Libra is the 7th house of relationships. We currently have the South Node there, so there's a lot of themes coming up for the collective around codependence versus partnership, right? And it just feels like there was an imbalance perhaps in a relationship. Look at that, Knight of Cups. Proposal, quest, prospect, and pride. Very open-hearted, heart on the sleeve with the Knight of Cups. You're a very loving, caring person, deep feelings. Again, if you are a water sign like a Scorpio, the Knight of Cups makes sense here. See how the Knight of Cups is walking away from this justice in the reverse? It's like you're understanding how to balance yourself in your personal relationships in a way where when you are offering your cup of love, it is reciprocal, it is balanced. I want to clarify that a little bit more. Let's get some Old school tarot going on here. Let's get 3 cards to clarify the Justice in the reverse. Does feel like a growth to me because the Knight of Cups is walking away from the Justice in the reverse. It feels like you've grown. You're making sounder decisions. Wow, the Tower in reverse. Talk about Scorpio coming through. The Queen of Swords. Okay. I think I know what's going on here now. Yeah, okay. The Ten of Cups in the reverse. You have gone through a separation, a divorce, a major breakup that probably spurred on this transformation. See how the Tower is in the reverse is like fighting it? You were holding on to a crumbling foundation of a relationship, but in the end, it's like the truth wins out, right? The Queen of Swords is about truth, about clarity, clear judgment. See how she's facing away? She's saying like, yeah, there was no holding on. There was no fixing this. She also represents like a divorced woman in the old tarot. So it could be a separation or an ending, a breakup as well. That's kind of spurred this on. And where you thought you had your happy ever after, you know, that illusion has been shattered. Like you kind of realize like this wasn't it, right? You weren't fulfilled. And so, yeah, that relationship crumbling. But see how right after, it's like it didn't shatter your belief in love. It didn't shatter your belief in what you bring to the table, how nurturing, how loving, how kind you are, what a good partner you are. It's like you're walking away towards the sun. That's the transformation here. It's like choosing better for yourself. This could be maybe why you are in the public. Maybe this was a public relationship. And not in the sense like, you know, you could be someone that's famous and everyone knows you, but it could be also like maybe you were people who really detailed every aspect of your relationship on social media. And so when it came crumbling down, it was kind of public in that sense. Like everyone was like shocked by it because you guys looked so happy online, right? Um, yeah. And now you're kind of like in the eye of everyone, right? Still with eyes on you going through this, but they're seeing how you're persevering. You're coming out of it still with so much love and care. Still the same person you were, still like that innocence towards love. It didn't shatter you because you know who you are at your core. You have this strength. Let's get you one final oracle card. Got Judgment in the reverse. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. I feel like it came through in the reverse because you hold yourself to a really high standard. And when this person that you were with didn't act according to this high standard, you know, didn't have the same, let's say, values or morals as you, really kind of shook you. You weren't expecting that from another person, especially someone that you'd be in a relationship with. And it's kind of made you see things from different perspectives. And in a way, it's kind of like reinforced your ideals, you know, like how you see the world, how you treat people, how you want to be treated. You really truly believe that that is the correct way to be, whereas it was in such stark difference from this person's mentality. And so you're kind of taking pause and separation and understanding that not everyone thinks the way you do or feels the way you do or has the same values as you. You're going to move forward with a lot more, I feel, discernment on who you allow into your circle. Yeah, this purple here too feels very third eye, like trusting your intuition about people, not just letting them in because, you know, you feel like, oh, there's potential here. It's like trust people at their face value. You kind of have this added, I guess, repertoire of human behavior now because of this experience where you're like, oh, okay, so people can actually act this way too, which is, disappointing. But because you have this depth to you, if you are a Scorpio as well, if you're not, that's fine. We all have Scorpio in our charts. That understanding of human nature lets you see that there is like multiple facets to human nature. And in the end, it's like you're going to choose who you give this cup to based on your discernment, based on your intuition, based on how they present themselves and their behavior. And you're going to trust that first time that you see their true colors, that first time they show you their true values. Yeah, it's a lot of learning and growth here. But look at that victory. Look at the strength. The Eight of Wands, the Knight of Cups. Very loving, very strong person. People recognize that about you. This isn't going to hold you back. This was a tough situation in your life, but it ended because the tower was on rocky foundation to begin with. You don't deserve that. You deserve a solid foundation in your partnerships. I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you on my next one. Group number 3, if you chose the King of Wands and the raw amethyst, this will be your reading. This is very interesting because this is very masculine energy, not only because it's the king, but it's a fire energy. So this is Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Lion coming here talking about courage, about leadership. The King of Wands leads with his charisma, with his fire, with his passion. He draws people to his cause, rallies them. Really beautiful masculine energy, right? But the amethyst here, this is very feminine energy. This is the third eye, intuition. It's like this beautiful combination. It feels like you draw your leadership, your direction, your actions from your intuition. Like you're very, very in tuned with your inner sight, your inner knowing, and you trust it very much. And that's made you a very successful leader, like King of Wands, right? The top of the suit. That's a really beautiful combination to have. You might be someone who is a woman in her masculine energy. So you could be someone who's just very much a leader, takes action on their intuition, you have your own business, you're a leader within your career, within your industry even, like you're the decision maker. If you're a masculine, then you are very comfortable in your masculine energy. You use your leadership skills very wisely. You have a lot of passion, a lot of drive, a lot of self-determination. But you're not averse to good advice, to having kind of like this ability to read people well, to read situations well. Like it's a lovely combination. And this makes sense to me as to why this person would be so successful. So if you are in a business setting, if you're a leader in a business, I feel like people really are drawn to work with you. Maybe there are people who want to work for you just based on your reputation, on what you're able to achieve. Very charismatic. Let's get 5 cards to clarify. Ace of Wands in the reverse. That's interesting because we go from the Ace to the King. To me, that feels like you've had growth. right? You could have been a person that didn't trust your gut feeling, that didn't trust your intuition in the past when you were younger, when you started out, and there were opportunities that you missed, or you misplaced your intuitive guidance, your gut feeling into projects that you poured your passion, your energy into, and they never bared fruit. Like they never went anywhere. This is the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. It's like all this effort, all this energy to grow something, and it doesn't pan out, right? So those past failings, if you will, in quotation marks, but really they're opportunities for learning and gaining wisdom, where what made you so discerning? What made you learn to seek the truth, trust your intuition, trust the clarity, right? Look at this, Queen of Swords. Looking away from these past failures, not allowing them to bring her down, but drawing from them, gaining wisdom from them. This is Queen of Swords. This is air energy. This is intellect, right? This is wisdom. This is seeking the truth. It's like you understood that those experiences were stepping stones. They were learning experiences. Just because you have passion and courage and leadership doesn't mean that you're going to just necessarily be successful. You got to be smart. Wow, beautiful. King of Swords. Look how they're looking at each other. A lot of clarity. You could have air signs in your chart as well. So here we're talking about Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Again, King of Swords. Clarity, sharpness of mind, you know, very intellectual, very smart, very knowledgeable. The pair here also indicates perhaps you have a partnership with someone who is an air sign, but not necessarily. The two of you work really well together. It's like the dream team. You're very successful together. You're very successful in business together. Because to be honest, like the Queen and the King of Swords as a relationship, I'm like, not my favorite. Let's just put it that way. And nothing wrong with air signs in relationships at all. And that's not what I'm saying. It's just that what the cards represent. Like the Queen of Swords in the traditional tarot represents a woman that's been divorced, right? So like when you see them together, I don't usually think of them as a romantic partnership. It feels more like a business partnership, because they would be so discerning, so smart, so savvy, very gifted. That makes more sense to me for this pairing in this reading. It's like you kind of partnered up with someone and the two of you kind of leveled up together, which kind of garners this reputation of like, yeah, these can be very trustworthy business partners or a business to invest in. They make good decisions. They're really intelligent. Look at that, Page of Swords. So much sword energy coming through all of a sudden. Yeah, it's like very learned, hand in a lot of different things. Page of Swords talks to me about someone who's just has a thirst for knowledge. Like their hands are in a lot of different things. They have a very busy mind, lots of ideas. This feels very much more aligned with not wasting ideas that come into your mind. Like you now have so many ideas and you don't sit on them. It's in the upright, like you dig deep, you investigate them, you fully invest, and then you see which ones you can grow with discernment, with intelligence, with wisdom. Because the page just starts out, right? The page goes to the king and queen. So this is a starting person, this is a novice, but you don't look at yourself like that. Like every time you start a business or you go with a new idea, even though it's new, even though it's fresh, even though you're new at it, you come to it with all of this wisdom, all of this knowledge, all of this expertise from your other endeavors, and you make it grow. This is really interesting. What a beautiful reading. Yeah, I see that. It's like, look how this person's going this way. It's like always going forward, not letting anything hold you back, not the past, not past failures, using your mind, your perseverance, your passion to bring all of these little ideas and make them grow in this life. So it feels business oriented here. I'm going to get you Oracle card. You might be in a period where you're just seeing so much growth in your business, in your finances, in your opportunities, in your partnership. Like you're really entering like your groove, like you're in flow right now. Like you have so many different ideas. And this is like confirmation, like, yeah, pursue them, throw them, go for it. Like you're bringing in so much wisdom with you from these past experiences. Love that. Co-create. Yeah. Major manifestation, co-creation energy happening here. It's like, it feels like the wheel of fortune in the upright. Like everything is falling into place. All the right opportunities, the right partnerships, the right investors, all of it lining up for you. Let's go look at that one from the book. Number 40. We'll read the career. So the essential meaning is creativity, art, inspiration, fruition, and manifestation. And the prosperity message says, flashes of inspiration give rise to great success. When you receive this message, you are at your most creative now, and whatever you apply yourself to will lead to the fruition of your dreams. Remember that all your ideas are channeled from a higher source. You create your reality in partnership with spirit. The potential for manifestation is unlimited now. Revel in this vastness. Oh my goodness. I love that. Yes, like all the ideas, all the inspirations, like go for it. Don't hold back. These are beautiful opportunities for you to co-create, to manifest, to build something beautiful in this life for yourself. This could even mean co-creation. The way they're working together, it's like you co-creating with a partner or with the divine, or all three of you creating from these ideas, from this inspiration in this life. Really beautiful. I hope this resonated, and I'll see you on my next one.